But Brandon, let's end the podcast like we always do. This one might be a little shorter. I'm just going to let you guys know. Big boy over here has to get his MacBook fixed, and he's pressing me for time.
Hey, I got a 7:20 appointment at the Apple Store. We all know how they are at the Apple Store.
You will make it in time, I promise you. First game up, we'll get right into them. A Thursday night matchup, number 20 Stanford going into Beaverton, Oregon to play the Beavers. Stanford, 23-point favorites. Who you got?
Well, Ricky, I'm just so excited I'll be able to watch this one for the Pac-12 since it's at 8 o'clock. Stanford gets this when they go into Oregon State. Oregon State with one win. They won't get two after this week.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a win for Oregon State. I think the 23-point favorite is a good one and takes Stanford in this game. Then a Friday night matchup. What's a college team playing on Friday for? That is meant for high school football. Memphis, number 24, playing Tulane in Memphis. The Tigers, 10.5-point favorites. Who you got?
Memphis, they will get the win. They go up one spot to 24 this week, and they'll maybe move up another to 23 after the win.
I'm going to go with Memphis as well, and I love your response from this past Saturday. I'm like, oh my God, you see that Memphis game, that comeback against Houston? You're like, Ricky, I don't watch Power 5. I don't watch non-Power 5 football on a Friday.
I think my response was, Ricky, I don't care.
But I'm going with Memphis in this one. Then the Saturday games. And the first one, pains me to say, but 27-point favorite Wisconsin going into Champaign. I think the Illini go 0-5 in the Big Ten after this week. Badgers with the win. They'll win by more than 27. They might win by 30.
Illinois with a competitive game this past week on the road in Minnesota, lose by a touchdown. Doesn't happen this week. Wisconsin has been good all season long. They go into Illinois, but after being in an Illinois football game just a couple of weeks ago, there's going to be more Wisconsin fans there than there will be Illini.
Is it bad that I look at my team and I just get depressed just seeing their name on our pick card? Because that means I have to pick against them.
It's sad, but it happens.
It's really depressing at this point. But then we've got another one that could be a blowout. We've got number 8 Miami going into Chapel Hill to play the Tar Heels, the 1-7 Tar Heels. Miami, 20.5-point favorites. Who you got, Canes or Heels?
Miami, and Miami's not going to need a dramatic win in this one. North Carolina looked so bad against Virginia Tech this past weekend. Virginia Tech all over the Tar Heels. Miami wins easily in this one.
Well, I'm going to go with Miami as well. There is no way, not a chance, as Patrick Kane would say, that the Tar Heels get this win because the Trubisky is here in Chicago. Then we're moving on, a top 25 showdown. We got two coming up in the next two picks. We've got number 11, Oklahoma State, going into number 22, West Virginia. The Cowboys may be 7.5-point favorites, Brandon, but guess what? Upset special, Mountaineers with the win. Who you got?
Oklahoma State. Last week, Mason Rudolph does not throw a touchdown pass in the game. Can't remember the last time that happened, if it ever did. Doesn't happen this week. Oklahoma State will bounce back. They get the win on the road in West Virginia, but West Virginia is going to be sneaky in this game. It's going to be a tightly contested game. A lot of points. Oklahoma State comes out with the win, though.
Then the big one, number 2, Penn State, number 6, Ohio State in Columbus. OSU, a 6-point favorite in this one. So, Brandon, for the sake of the upset special, are we going with the line or are we going with the ranking?
What did we go with last time?
I have no idea. That's why I'm asking.
Son of a monkey's uncle.
Well, what do you want to do? You want to go for the ranking this week or the line?
I think we went line last time,
so we'll go with the line. So Ohio State's the favorite. Who do you got?
I'm going to go upset. Penn State gets the win in this one. Ohio State, they're going to try their best to key in on Saquon Barkley. And while they're doing that, Trace McSorley is going to be over here going, you open down there? Boom. He's going to find some guys down the field this week. Saquon Barkley may not have the same numbers he usually does because Ohio State will try and take him out, but he's going to still have a solid game. Penn State gets a win, a close one. This could be a field goal or a touchdown game, but Penn State on the road in Columbus.
Brandon, I got 4 letters for you. You ready? OHIO. Buckeyes with the win. They win by more than 6. I will take the OSU at -6 all day. Then we're moving SEC. We got number 3, Georgia against the Florida Skaters. 2-touchdown favorites are the Bulldogs. Who you got?
Well, Florida, they've had a tough week. McElwain saying that him and players have gotten death threats throughout the week, which is just
terrible.
Entirely sickening for Florida fans. If you're a fan, that's not what you do for your team. Georgia will get the win on the road. They've been rolling this season.
I don't get that because there was that Tennessee game where you should have technically gotten a loss, but your team won. So why are you upset with them? You got to win that you should. I don't understand.
As McElwain said, there's
world.
bad people in this world.
There's complete animals in this world. I'm going to go with the Bulldogs, though, with the win. They'll win by more than 2 touchdowns in this game. Then we've got 2 more top 25 showdowns, one in the Big 12, 4 TCU, 25 Iowa State. Getting into the rankings for the first time in my lifetime, it seems. TCU 6.5-point favorites. Who do you got?
Hitting that upset.
Wow.
Hitting the upset
really?
button. TCU. I don't know why I'm doing it.
I almost did.
I have a feeling about this Ohio State team. You talk about in earlier segments, I talked about the it factor that Penn State has. Iowa State has it on a lesser scale. TCU, they're tough, they're dominant, they're good. But I'm hitting the upset button. Iowa State gets the win at home, and they will muddy the waters in the Big 12.
Brandon, you are more of a man than me because I'm going TCU. I for a second I'm like, do I hit the button? And I'm like, no, I like TCU. I'm going to go with TCU. You are more of a man than I, but the next one, I'm sorry. Number 14, NC State. Number 9, Notre Dame. Notre Dame 7.5-point favorites. Hit the button, NC State with the victory. Who you got?
I'm going Notre Dame. Notre Dame at home, a huge win last week over USC, 49-14. NC State has been so special this season, but Notre Dame has 2. Their defense has been good. It's what will help keep them in this game and beat the Wolfpack.
Then we've got UCLA at number 12, Washington. Washington 17-point favorites. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Washington in this one. They're at home. I think UCLA will give them trouble, but I think ultimately Washington will end up getting the win.
I'm going to go Washington. I know you saw my hand.
I about did it. I about did it too.
Josh Rosen, that's the only question mark. I'm not going to go against the Huskies, though. I will pick them to win. Then Big Ten, 16 Michigan State at Northwestern. MSU only 2.5-point favorites. Who you got? Only 2.5-point favorites.
Upset.
Wow.
Northwestern gets the win. They're at home. We saw what they did against Saquon Barkley in a half. Michigan State does not have a Saquon Barkley. They're going to get shut down. And Lewerke, who has done some good things, and he's a good kind of dual threat quarterback, even though they don't like those words, dual threat. Northwestern's going to be able to shut him down, I think, defensively and be able to score enough points to win. It'll be low scoring.
Yeah, I'm going to go Michigan State. I can't hit the button. Going to go with Sparty on the road. Then a non-Power 5 matchup, Houston going into number 17, South Florida. USF is a 10.5-point favorites. I'm going with Charlie Strong and the Bulls. Who do you got?
South Florida, they're hanging tough. They're staying strong. They're going to go to 8 now.
And here's a team I thought I'd never have to say football-wise on the podcast. Austin Peay getting into the picks. Usually don't hear about them until basketball seasons when they're playing a Power 5 and getting their butts kicked, but they're going up against number 18, UCF, undefeated in the rankings. Who you got? You got Austin Peay? You got Central Florida? Because this is a straight pick 'em.
Central Florida.
I'm going to go with Central Florida as well. I'm surprised they even had to say Austin Peay's name on the podcast for football. I'm going to say that yet again. Then we're going ACC, 13 Virginia Tech hosting the Duke Blue Devils. VT 15.5-point favorites. Going to go with my Hokies all day, every day. Who you got?
I'm going to go Virginia Tech as well. We saw what they did last week against North Carolina. Duke has a much better defense than that, so I don't think we're going to see that type of blowout, but Virginia Tech with the win.
Then ACC again, Georgia Tech, number 7, Clemson, 14.5-point favorites are the Tigers. Who you got? You hovering?
I'm gonna go Clemson at home.
Did you hover?
I thought about it. I really did. Georgia Tech, the way that they run their offense, it's difficult. Defensively, I think they could hold Clemson. or at least limit them. But Clemson at home, I think, will have momentum playing in prime time. They'll get the win.
Hey, Brandon.
Attaboy.
Georgia Tech. Like, this is
Attaboy.
going to be a big weekend for the ACC. NC State wins, Clemson loses. All hell breaks loose because Clemson looks like they are dead in the water after this week. Then we got 3 more. We've got Texas Tech, number 10, Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a 20-point favorite. Both these teams on the low. Texas Tech losing to Iowa State that last week. Oklahoma, some are questioning their playoff hopes. Who you got?
I think Oklahoma keeps their hopes alive with a win this week against Texas Tech. Baker Mayfield at home at Memorial Stadium. I think that's going to be good for him. Hasn't been all season long, but I think that Oklahoma with the win.
And then our last 2 Pac-12 games, 15, Washington State, 3-point favorites over Arizona. Who do you got?
I think Washington State will take it, but it'll be a close one. I think that 3-point victory would be about right for Washington State.
I'm going to go Washington State as well. And then another 3-point line, this time the Trojans at number 21 over the Sun Devils in Tempe, Arizona. Who you got for our last pick?
USC is pissed, and they're going to come back with a win. Make it 7-2 for the Trojans.
I would take that 3 line all day because I think they win by a touchdown or more. Go Trojans in that one. And this is where you guys come in. Let us know down below, who are you taking this week and what do you think about some of our big picks and some of our upset specials. I want to thank you guys for watching on YouTube or listening on Blog Talk Radio. Make sure to check out patreon.com/most valuable podcast. Jake Neverman join the fast break. If you're sitting there going, man, I would love to make some picks and be on a podcast with Ricky and Brandon, check out patreon.com/most valuable podcast, baby. $10 tier. Get you on the podcast with us. Link also down below in the description. Want to thank you guys for watching and listening. And as always, have a good day, everybody. I think this is the first week I didn't make the joke about YouTube seeing us first.